We call it the Last Wall Protocol. In the event the Terra should be under grave threat, perhaps even fallen, the Sons of Dawn will come together to deal with the matter as one.
During the earliest days of the post-Heresy era, when the Imperium began to reform the Adeptus Astartes, Rogal Dorn, Primarch of the Imperial Fist, truest son of the Emperor, placed a contingency plan for his sons. With the forming of the successor chapters, Rogal Dorn never lost sight of his true purpose, even when pressured by Guilliman to accept the Codex. He knew that his sons would still have to protect what mankind had fought for all these years. They had to uphold the defense of the throne world. Dorn created the Last Wall Protocol. It states that in the event of Holy Terror coming under threat from outside powers, the Adeptus Astartes, whose gene bears the lineage of Rogal Dorn, to be recalled to Terra, to form their chapters into a legion once more. With the activation of the Last War Protocol, it is the oath-bound duty of every son of Dawn to fulfill their oath to the Emperor, to fulfill their oath to their father, to fulfill their oath to humanity, to become the Praetorians and defenders of Terra once more. M32 War of the Beast. The Imperium was at peace. The High Lords bickered and argued among themselves over the scraps of meat that was still fresh upon the bones of power. Their arrogance had blinded them to the greatest threat the Imperium would witness. The Imperial Fists, for the first time in centuries, left the walls of the Imperial Palace to purge a Xenos threat known as Chromes. They ventured into the abyss of the void to prove the High Lords and those who had doubts upon the use of the Adeptus Astartes that they still had a position in the Emperor's Imperium. Though even in their hour of duty, they still left a small force of Imperial Fists guarding the walls of the palace. As they battled the Xenos threat, the Imperial Fists began to encounter gravitational hazards which caused the very ground they fought on to break and swallow brothers and enemies alike. Their ships malfunctioned and crashed. The High Lords of Terra were reluctant to lend their aid to the Imperial Fists. They saw the matter of fighting the Xenos threat as trivial and beneath them. The last of the War Brothers, which were still stationed upon the walls of Terra, petitioned the High Lords to let them venture and help their distressed brothers. The High Lords allowed the remaining Fists to leave and venture into the abyss. As they arrived at the system and launched a counterattack on the Xenos Chromes and coming to the aid of their remaining brothers, the Imperial Fists were first to witness the true threat against the Imperium, the force that was behind the gravitational hazards that had wiped out their fleet in orbit. The sky turned dark as a moon teleported above the planet. This moon was made from metal, made from scrap, made from the madness and wicked Xenos technology of the Orks. From the bowels of its hideous form, it launched its forces. Wave after wave of Orks descended upon the planet, slaughtering the Xenos Chromes and the Imperial Fists alike. The Imperial Fists fought bravely with the courage and fury of their Gene Father, but it was not enough. The Imperial Fists were slaughtered to a man.